We are living in interesting times, no? I've barely left the house in 16 days, and only then to get groceries, to take social distancing walks, and to deliver groceries or other items to those who need them. That's about it. And while it seems strange, I know it's the right thing to do. And thanks to the many conversations I've been having, I know that many of you are doing the same thing. And I thank you for doing your part in working to flatten the curve, working to limit the spread of COVID-19. Here, at a time where many of us might feel so powerless, we do hold great power. And it is found in making the right choices, which of course includes staying put if your work life allows you to do so. We do this, we stay home so that our healthcare system isn't overwhelmed and that the most vulnerable members of our society are not put in harm's way. I know especially for our kids that this can be challenging. It's hard not seeing friends or family up close and in person, but as we heard in our story earlier, it is what we need to do right now, for now, to show that we care for the greater good, to show we care for our larger community. For many of us, this experience is mind-blowing. How can the whole country be shutting down? What are we going to do? How will we survive? We feel fear and worry, and those concerns all make sense. Most of us have never experienced anything like this, but we probably have experienced some kind of sadness, loss, or letdown in our lives, and we got through that by honoring our feelings and moving through the cycles of grief. And this time may call for the same way of thinking. One of my best friends sent me a note the other day that likened what we are all probably feeling to the stages of grief. We've moved through, I imagine many of us, what we consider the first 4 stages, and maybe not in any particular order, feelings of denial, anger, bargaining, and sadness. Have you all felt some of those? All of those? Where we land when we work our way through those feelings is what matters, though. And where that is acceptance. Acceptance that this is in fact happening. Acceptance that there are so many things we cannot control, but yet there are also so many things we can control. Acceptance that the things we can control include staying home and limiting physical contact as the best thing to do right now, as long as we have the luxury of doing so. We can wash our hands, keep safe distances when we take a walk, and we can call the people we love or even people we've lost touch with just to check in. Buddhist teacher Tara Brach talks about the idea of radical acceptance, which means clearly recognizing what we are feeling in the present moment and regarding that experience with compassion. Recognize our feelings in the present and look on that experience with compassion. That is work we can do at home on our own time that may not only help us get through this pandemic, but also bring us out on the other side as more enlightened and compassionate beings. And we remember, too, that we are a part of something much greater. If this pandemic has taught me anything, it's that we are, in fact, one planet and one people. Infectious diseases don't care about borders or nationalities or beliefs. No wall or racist legislation will stop them. Viruses, such as COVID-19, can teach us that we are all connected, whether we like it or not. That is something we must accept. What I find myself thinking about a lot is how this pandemic is showing the cracks in the system. The fact that our medical facilities are under-equipped and that due to high medical costs, sick people may have chosen not to see doctors in a timely manner. That hunger and poverty are rampant, as seen by the fact that many of our schools are the only place where children can get meals. that the workers who are some of the lowest paid among us, grocery clerks, home health aides, caseworkers, are essential to making society function and thus deserve a livable minimum wage. That even though medical experts, epidemiologists, and statisticians are all saying that the virus is going to continue to spread at a rapid rate, leaders, both political leaders and faith leaders, are not heeding the warnings and doing the next right thing. That's where my anger kicks in. That our society's priorities are so backwards. And the only thing that gives me hope in this is the feeling that once we emerge from this crisis, we can never go back to business as usual. Our experience of this pandemic in the United States requires us to demand a more humane society, one that includes job security and a realistic minimum wage. Ideally, workers should be shareholders in their companies. A society that provides health care as a human right to everyone for free. A society that puts people before profits every time. One that dismantles our dehumanizing for-profit prison system, and one that recognizes that the planet is part of our interconnected web, and her health matters just as much as our health. We are all separated by distance now, confined to our homes, if we are lucky enough to have one, but we need not be separated by heart. We at UU Catskills are a community. Kingston, Woodstock, Catskill, Rosendale, New Paltz, Hurley, wherever our homes may be, that is our community. We stay connected. We live into our UU values. We resist false information, and we work for a better world. I ask each of you to reach out to one another, to remind yourself of your blessings daily, to feel your feelings, to work for the greater good. I miss you all, and I love you all, and I look forward to the time when we may sit together again. In the meantime, you know where to find me, so please reach out. May we take stock of our fears and longings. May we remember our many blessings. May we act in a way that serves the health and well-being of all. May we do all this through love. May it be so.